Welcome everybody to week 3 of our December online program for the alumni of the Sunshine Coast Health Center up here in Powell River, BC. And this month, just throwing out some reminders of things you've already got in your recovery toolbox and that hopefully you're actually using them in real life. And this week, some of a major theme is to remind you that you are the story you tell yourself. Right? However you make sense out of life will become your reality. If you believe that you're a rotten person or, the devil or something, that'll become your reality. If you believe that, well, my life will get just so much better, all I have to do is sit back and wait for my parents to get their act together, that'll become your reality. This is what we now know from psychology. So if your life isn't working out that good, that's a good sign that maybe you should start changing the way you look at things, right? Maybe what you're seeing isn't all that accurate. And one of the big things about all this is we've actually had a few alumni come here recently, and every one of them's told us the same thing. They said basically, well, I knew what to do, I just never did it. But when I decided to do it, everything worked out. So this concept of just do it, right? If that's part of your story, that's great. Then I have no doubt your life is working out for you. But on the other hand, if the story you're telling yourself is, geez, I should really go out and get to more meetings or something like that, but you don't do it, all that's going to do is get you really guilty, right? So this idea of the story that you tell yourself. Another big thing, a part of your story should be to become the person who doesn't give up. Sometimes I tell people that recovery is not for wimps, right? Because you're going to have some bad days, maybe a bad week, maybe a bad month for all I know. And one of the things you're going to have to do is to be able to fight through this. This is a concept of never give up, right? Always press on, always keep your eye on the goal and keep moving towards it. And just overcome whatever obstacles are there for your recovery, whether it's cravings or bad things happen to you in the same day, just to keep fighting through it because you've got this goal in mind, right? But if your story is, well, geez, well, I got loaded because I had a bad day and that's what addicts do, I mean, that's your reality, right? On the other hand, if your story is, hey, I'm tough, I can make it through this, then chances are you're going to make it through it, right? Anyway, this concept of how do you make sense of your life and make sense of who you are, and a really good example, I've put this on the written portion of the online program, is a really interesting YouTube video from Kevin Spacey, the actor. And I'm not quite sure, but I think he's sitting in that they have a TV program. They bring in famous actors. It's some kind of film school or acting school in New York, and they bring in these famous people and get interviewed. And then they ask, does the audience, who are all students, have any questions? So one of the fellows in the audience stands up and asks Kevin Spacey, well, do you have any sort of advice for being successful in this business? Because we're just starting out. And it's fascinating to see to hear what Kevin Spacey replies to that question. Anyway, I put the link in the online program, or the written portion of the online program if you want to have a look at it. But it's really interesting to see, how does Kevin Spacey make sense of this thing called success? And maybe give you a little clues about how you can change the way you look at your life. Anyway, that's it for this week's online program, so we'll see you next week.